Bang! Neeves Knives, I'm Jared, and today we are checking out a new company's knives. I'm pretty sure Concept is the one making them, but this is Orbital Knives. And I believe this is the first one I've tried from them. It might even be the first knife design they've done. And the blade on this clip point is a 154 cm, very thin, very slicey, something I can definitely appreciate. The size is a compact knife, but very, very usable. I can get a full 4-finger grip, even locked behind this little spot right there, so it feels like I'm locked in really, really well. Nice pinch grips. The clip point does, it's pretty much a straight, a straight clip, and it makes it to where it's barely above the center of the pivot, and because of the size, I can easily do utility cuts, cut down on a flat surface, slice, turn around, cut straps. I can basically use it in any grip. Great access to that lock bar. This one has the blue micarta with a titanium milled pocket clip and a titanium backspacer. The whole deployment lands in a great spot. Very, very easy to deploy. Thumb or reverse flick is really, really easy. Very, very well done. And like I said, the access to the lock bar is nice. I can tell it's riding on bearings. Still needs to break in, but yeah, it's very smooth. The clip works well. It's a little stubby, but there's not a ton of tension. They made sure to not put a lot of material underneath it. So yeah, it works good. In my thicker jeans, it probably won't work as good. I'm not wearing my thicker jeans right now, but yeah, all in all, pretty cool knife. As far as negatives go, I mean, it's got an internal stop pin, I believe. Yeah, love to see that. The only thing I can really complain about is the sharpen tool and plunge grind could be a little bit more separated from the edge. So I wish the end of the plunge grind was separated from the edge, putting in a little gap right there for sharpening. Other than that, people that are left-handed would probably wish that it was reversible, but the hardware's T6s, that'd be another little nitpick, just little tiny nitpicks. Other than that though, pretty damn cool, as far as first impressions go. Next, we have two knives from Lothar. This is the Raphael. And then the next one is the Revelier. So we have the Revelier here with the Tanto blade. Well, they're both Tantos. What am I talking about? With the G10 handle, and then this one's the aluminum handle. And like I said, that one is the Raphael. So let's talk about the Raphael really quick. So the Raphael has a Tanto blade. It does curve a little bit right there. It's almost an American Tanto. 14C 28M blade steel. I like the way he did the jimping along the sides. Like you got the jimping on top. It's not the most functional jimping, but it doesn't really matter, but it does add a little style to it. I like the red accents with this. I don't even know what you call this. Emerald green, I'm guessing. It is aluminum handles. Like I said, red aluminum hardware, and then red hardware, and then a red aluminum backspacer. It is a button lock action. Now the hole is not functional. You can't get to it, as you can see. It does hide. It's almost like a CEO style knife in a way, very slim, slender. It is a little bit bigger than that, a little bit more tactical. As far as the button, I have a little tiny bit of movement in there. The thumb stud action works good though. It is, they are sharp enough. I do wish, because they are tight to the skull, I wish there was a chamfer around the edge right there, even though it does work really, really well for the reverse and the thumb flick. It does have a reversible clip that's inset with flat screws. Love to see that. The action is really, really good. Let's check out this other one really quick. This one, I like this one a little less. The flipper tab, so it works, but it's so low relative to the pivot. You can see how low it is, that you don't have a lot of leverage. So you do have to give it a good thwack. Even a little wrist definitely will help, but you can easily fail it because it's so low. So the flipper tab needs to be up higher so you can get more leverage. Now, like I said, you can easily do it. It's not like it's gonna, once you know it, you're not gonna fail it, but you know, it's still, you want to be able to just hand it to somebody and somebody break the detent and it flip open. This one, they're definitely going to fail it the first time. After filming that video, this version wound up showing up, which is a drop point version. So we had the Tonto version, now we have the drop point version. Same exact knife, everything's the same except for the blade, and this one has a nice crispy detent. Even though the flipper tab is still low, like, I mean, this thing has a great, look at that. Great detent, nice and strong. It still has good jimping on the flipper tab. This one actually feels like a reliable flipper, which is great. I wish, not wish, if I would have only tried this one, I would be, you know, pretty happy with it. But since I did try the other one and the other one had such a lazy detent, it leads me to believe that they're having consistency issues. I doubt I just got a lemon, right? That could happen, but most likely their consistency is off. So the thing that I would consider if I was just the consumer, right? Just looking at it from a consumer's point of view, I would think, okay, they need to work their kinks out. They need to get consistent, you know? So they need to figure out their market, because when I look at their knives, they have some knives that are decent quality. However, when I look at some of their knives, they look like gas station knives. And then some of their quality knives have gas station knife things to them. You know, like say the name on the clip really big and just things like that. Just little details that you typically see on a cheap gas station knife, right? So they need to pick their market. Are you leaning towards people that just want to buy as cheap of a knife as possible, that'll never sharpen, they'll just wind up throwing it away? Or are you trying to get to the guys that buy knives because of good quality, because they want to use them, because they want good steels, they want to sharpen them, they want decent materials, and they want good action? Because if that's your market, you got to appeal to that market, not appeal to the gas station knife guys, because that is a completely different market. Now let's test this button lock. Nice and solid. I will say, I know this one's going to be solid because of how strong this detent is. We have a blue aluminum backspacer. Then we have G10 scales with this. I'm guessing this is a fake carbon fiber, but I don't know. It looks like a carbon fiber sticker to me, which it probably is, on both sides. It looks cool though. I wish it was real. And then we have a 14C28N Tonto blade once again. This one, I kind of like this one a little bit better, even though this one is not as slicey as this one. This one's definitely more slicey. This one just looks cooler. But the button lock is solid, very solid. I feel I can flex it side to side. Jimping's a little bit more functional on this one. Ergonomics are not bad at all. Yeah, both of them are pretty good. I do feel this little bit right there in my palm, but all in all, it's cool. My complaints would be, you know, I wish the flipper tab was higher on here. I like the jimping on it and everything. I like the way it's shaped, but I wish it was higher for more leverage. Bigger choil so that you can, you know, so you don't create a smile when you sharpen. I like that it has inset. Well, it's not inset on this side, actually. It's inset only on this side with flat screws, but on this side, you can still reverse it. And then with this one, you know, my biggest complaint would be the clip looks ugly. You know, I wish it blended better, you know, maybe make a red clip or something so that it blends with the knife. And I don't like logos on the clip like that. It makes it look cheap. That makes it look like basically like a gas station knife, because that's what they do. So I'd say get rid of that. And then, like I said, there's a bit of movement in the blade, which would probably be my #1 complaint. And sharp control and plunge grind is okay on this one. It could be better though. It's separated from the edge is separated from the plunge grind, the end of it, but not far and not much. So it could definitely use more. And then a chamfer right around this edge to get to the thumb so it's easier, even though it works well. So if you do get one of these, it is pretty cool. It does feel very fidget friendly, and you know, it does work. It is pretty comfortable. With this one though, I would say, you know, I would wait on this one just because, you know, I think with the action of 2024, we like to see really crispy breaking detents. Then we have a new knife from Voss Steed. Now this one is using their anchor lock, which their anchor lock, I think it's the Corgi with the anchor lock. it's like a mini corgi, because they do have a full-size one as well. I like this one a lot because one, I love this color, this orange burnt color. And then look at this flipper tab. That is cool. You just basically, it's like lighting a lighter almost. And then you still have a front flipper as well. And this lockup is basically a liner, a button liner lock. So if you look down into here, you'll see it. Oops, sorry. You'll see it locking up. See it engaging right there? It's basically just like a liner, which allows it to be stronger than a conventional button lock. I mean, it does depend on the lock face geometry of a button lock. Some button locks are really strong, some of them are not, but this allows it to be a little bit more consistent with the that was my fault, with the detent and with the lockup. And it does feel very, very solid. I have already spine whacked it a bunch of times. Deep carry clip inset with flat screws, not reversible, which they should have done because this is a very ambidextrous knife. So that's kind of a loss on there, and they should have made a reversible clip. But I will say this, it does look good being nice and plain. Milling on the inside, lots of milling, but there's also, you know, you got this back spacer right here, and, you know, you got the liner and stuff. So it does, you know, have a bunch going on the inside. You have a spear point blade and 14C 28N. Love to see that. I can get a full grip. It is more of a 3-finger grip knife, but I can, if I really want to choke up. Pinch grips are where it's at though. I love a neutral handle like this where I can go from forward, backwards, gas station knife, fighting grip, pinch grips. It's all very comfortable. That's what I love about a neutral handle. And this one does that very, very well. This is a pretty cool one. I actually like this quite a bit. This is probably my favorite corgi yet, if they named it the corgi. I don't see a name on the box, so I'm just guessing it's the mini corgi with the anchor lock. If I'm wrong, I'll put it on the screen, but either way, it's pretty damn cool. Negatives, I really don't have anything. Choil's good. It could have a reversible clip. That's the one thing. Other than that, I got nothing. Really quick, before we get to the next knife, I want to talk about this thing Caval sent me. So we'll talk about this here in 1 second, but it is a plaque with a knife infused in the inside. So it's got a resin over the top, completely sealing it in place. And you can see you got basically the entire knife there. And I like this because now this makes it a lot easier for me to like show people, oh, there's a steel lock bar insert. That's a detent ball, ceramic bearings, stop pins, you know, backspacer, pocket clip. Now you might notice the blade is missing something, right? Well, here we go. We got a little necklace and it comes with a little leather sheath, leather rope, you know, and you can adjust it right here. Obviously just pull that to adjust, but inside is basically the back side of the knife, which is pretty cool. And you can tell it was actually machined because they got the detent ball, the detent ramp. It is M390 steel. It's numbered, and they did actually put a little edge on it. So it still is a little sharp little blade that you can use as a package opener or whatever, you know, if you just need a little blade. But it also makes a little nice little you know, a little neck knife or a little neck charm. Now this guy, I'm not really understanding this too much. I think it just goes like that. I tried reading about it a little bit. I didn't really understand the theme, but you know, hey, I think it's a pretty cool little thing, and I'm not sure, I'm pretty sure they're selling them. So if you want to check one out, I'll have Caval linked down in the description. I'm not 100% sure. I know they were sending them out as gifts, and they gifted one to me. I thought it was pretty cool. I actually wish I had this knife model to show you it next to it. And then we have the Orbital Knives Cobra, which is running S90V, an S90V upswept tanto with a karambit ring and wave feature with a button lock. Titanium handles, titanium backspacer that rolls out to the, you know, the finger guard. And then it has a little spot for tritium right there and right there. Maybe I'll drop one in. It does have a reversible clip, which we're going to talk about here in 1 second because it has the wave feature. Now, depending on which way you like to carry it, I like that they did a reversible clip because you can carry it both ways. And what I mean is that if you're going to carry probably the way I would do it, right? I prefer when I pull it out to get it in the forward grip. Now, that some people are going to prefer it in the reverse grip. Now with the reverse grip, the hole or the ring is a little tight. I can't get it over my finger. I don't know if I need to though, because this is how I'd put it anyways. That way I could jab with this and then poke with that. But when I have my pinky goes all the way in, which is actually pretty cool. But even if I don't want to put it all the way in, I can have it halfway out. But when it's in the pocket, it's going to be facing this way. So when I pull it out, I don't want to use my pointer finger if the clip's on this side. I want to use my pinky. And then once I wave it out, I'm going to let my jeans clip that. It's going to pop it open, and then I'm going to thrust it forward. So I'm just going to swing it forward and then get it in the forward grip. And now I'm ready to get to work. But if the reverse grip is what I would want, I would flip the clip over to this side and then grip the ring with my pointer finger. And then when I go to pull it out of my pocket, I would lean it forward, let it clip my jeans, and then now I can just rotate it around like that. Now it's in the reverse grip, or the more of a karambit style grip. Now it does have a flipper tab, and the wave feature can be used as a thumb or reverse flick very easily. It's actually pretty comfortable. I actually like the way they did this wave feature. This is not only is this a highly functional wave feature, it works very easily. It's also really good for the thumb and the reverse flick. And then the flipper tab, I like how high it is. I love the jimping on it. Nice braking detent. They did a great job with their detent. Rock solid lockup. I did already. I don't want to spine whack it on that. No failure at all. I have already done that too. The centering is perfect, luckily, because of it, having this this groove right there where the blade is. That's daring for sure. There's a risk there because if it's off, you can see it big time. All in all, it is pretty damn cool. It's not going to be for everybody, and being a self-defense knife, I'm not going to complain about the choil too much because I know you kind of want to be able to swipe and you don't want nothing getting caught there. So this is a time when I understand if there's not a deep choil or anything like that. The Tonto has a secondary tip you're going to be able to use. The primary tip's very high, so you're not going to be able to use that very well. Like I said, you can use the secondary one. More of a self-defense knife. However, I think if it was a little bit of a different blade shape, it might be a little bit better for EDC purposes. But I think it'll be just fine for self-defense. When you swipe, you can hit with the secondary tip, poke with the primary tip, and so on. It's got nice texturing on the handle. And if I was going to complain about anything, the clip is a little tight, could be a little bit smoother. It's okay, but it is very tight. And when I talk about in my thicker jeans trying to pull it out, like it almost jumps out because I have to pull really hard. So that's one little nitpick. Other than that, like I said, I would prefer a little bit of a different blade shape for EDC use. But, you might just be carrying this for only one purpose and not necessarily EDC use, and you can carry a different knife for that reason. I wish companies would start adding tritium in the packages with their knives so you can just put the tritium in these little spots that, that accept it. But I'm not sure if they can because I know there's, things about tritium. Anyways, good job on the button lock. I don't have too much negative here, man. They did a good job. It's flathead, screws. So, pretty much everybody knows how to use one of those, except for this little guy. That's a T6, not a big deal. But yeah, there you guys go. Work hard, stay tough. Until next time, peace.